Hi, this is Gautam. Welcome to video 3. Okay. So, in video 1 and 2, we understood assets and the various line items making up assets. In video 3, let's understand equity and long-term liabilities and the various line items underneath. All right, so let's begin. So, any which ways, let me move forward in the source of funds. Okay. Source of fund, as you know, is equity and liability. Equity may, let me see what portion of the balance sheet is equity. 50% of the balance sheet is equity. So, of course, they are pretty like they have a huge amount of equity. And if you see within equity, this 200, 2000 is really the capital put in by the promoters. So the promoters, meaning that they've not like made any fresh infusion in this company over the last 6 years or so. जो equity capital होता है आपका, that is capital infusion by the promoters, by the owners of the company. उसमें there is no increase. Other equity is usually, reserve and surplus. The profits that you generate every year are added back to equity. That is what this mota this amount is. So you see that is increasing because they are generating a lot of profits which are getting added back to equity. Okay, moving on. Then they have liabilities. Liabilities may non-current liabilities and short-term liabilities. Non-current liabilities may you see the borrowings are increasing. Let's see total borrowings that they have. Let's work with DE ratio calculation. When we do a DE ratio calculation, we do not usually look at only long-term borrowings, we look at short-term borrowings as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this long-term borrowing with this short-term borrowing yahan pe in row 65 and then divide it by equity. So the DE ratio is 0.5, okay, which is fine for now. And of course, DE ratio changes. We will get to this thoda detail mein abhi. For now, please understand that the debt has increased now. Okay. And as I said, within 5 minutes, we look at this in thoda or detail. Okay. All right. Now, lease liabilities, and again, I'm putting this in the parking lot for now. Putting this in the parking lot for now. I'll come back to it later. Okay. Other financial liabilities. यहाँ पे क्या है कि see other financial liabilities within non-current liabilities usually have if you have security deposits of other companies parked within your company. Some other business has given you some security deposits because they want to, let's say, do some business with you. So you secure a portion of their money. Okay, or they want to, let's say I'll give an example. Let's say in the hospital, uh, uh, a cafeteria, someone's a food catering business or cafeteria, they want to set up a shop within your premises. Okay, so they say, okay, you want to set this up. Okay, this is what you want to provide to our patients in terms of food. Okay, but you need to give us a security deposit, and then you can set up a small shop in this area. I'm giving you an example. So that deposit that you would receive from that cafeteria owner to set up a shop within your premises, that money would fall under other financial liabilities. Because that's not your money, आपका पैसा नहीं है. Liability मतलब आपने किसी से लिया है, आपका नहीं है वो, आपको देना पड़ेगा कभी. Because it's non-current, आपको अभी नहीं देना है, आपको बहुत बाद में देना होगा. Had it been current, इसका मतलब you'll have to of course clear it off, settle it within 1 year. Okay. And again, at the risk of repeating myself, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this. Lekin this being our first time. Okay. Provisions, non-current provisions, provision for employee gratuity. Matlab, see, when you work for a company, they'll have to pay you gratuity. Gratuity is not paid every year. Gratuity is paid long term when you exit a company, typically. Okay. Or probably some companies that have 5-year clauses as well that I'm not aware about. But gratuity typically is not paid like periodically. It's paid when you exit or after a long period of time. That's why this is so any gratuity payments to their employees. So gratuity is booked in the P&L, but it's not paid for. So they provision it for in the non-current liabilities. उनका खुद का पैसा नहीं है, उनको देना है, इसलिए liability है वो. Okay. Then again, they have some deferred tax liabilities and they have some non-current liabilities. अब non-current liabilities क्या हो गया? Non-current assets तो हमने देखा था यहाँ पे, capital advances to developers. Non-current liabilities क्या हो गया? See, in this business now, many state governments, they invite them to kind of set up a hospital in their state. Okay, and they incentive देते हैं कि you set up this hospital, we'll give you a discount or we'll give you some grants. And many a time those grants have some contingency attached to it. Okay, all right. And they have provided detail on those grants here in this note. Okay, and this is a big number. So ideally, we should be. I don't think I've done a good job at describing this note. Ideally, we should be reading through this note in detail. Because this is not a small number. Okay, so we should be further investigating it. कि क्या है? मतलब it's constant, so it doesn't really. Had it changed a lot, then it would have definitely attracted my attention. Since it's kind of at the same number, so I wasn't really bothered about it. But had it been changing, then yes, what's really happening here? Okay, and are they like, uh, but basically, I need to understand, because then eventually I need to connect it with my valuation. Everything that you do eventually needs to, at a high level, have an impact on the valuation. So if it's a very small number, I'm not bothered, and if it's not moving at all, then that's fine. But if had it been moving and it's a big number, then yes, I need to spend more cycles of time in trying to understand what it is. Okay. All right. Now moving forward, the last section, and then we'll do a quick summary.